is Jarrod Horak, and in this video I'm going to analyze the Grade 1 $1 million Haskell at Monmouth Park, Saturday, July 20th, 2024. Now, if you're interested in my full card analysis at Del Mar, you'll find those full cards all summer long, each day Del Mar runs at the runawayhorse.com. That's my personal website. Sell my full cards there, and you can purchase individual full cards, weekly and weekend packages, or the entire meet. Go over to the runawayhorse.com for more details. And if you're interested in a daily best bet, you can also find that at the runawayhorse.com, my daily Better Bets blog. Each day from across the country, I give out a free pick. You can go check that out if you're interested. And then I'm going to be doing videos, short videos from Saratoga all summer, giving out quick picks. Last week, I did 5 videos at Saratoga for their stakes races, gave out 4 winners. Doing more of the same this week, so go over to my YouTube channel to check out all of those short videos with my top picks from Saratoga Stakes races all summer long. I'm going to do the Haskell in this video, the 12th race at Monmouth. As I said, it's on Saturday, July 20th. In this race, $1 million Grade 1 event for 3-year-olds traveling 1 mile and 1/8 on the main track. Scheduled post time, 5:45 p.m. Eastern. Breaking from the inside post, Belmont Stakes winner Dornoch, and he's probably going to show speed. He's 5-2 morning line. He's run 8 times in his career with 4 wins and 2 runner-up finishes. He was one of the better 2-year-olds in the land last year. He did win the Remsen Stakes. Then he started out the year winning the Fountain of Youth Stakes this year. And then the Bluegrass and the Kentucky Derby, he disappointed, finishing 4th and 10th in those races. He had a troubled trip in the Derby. And then the Belmont Stakes, he bounced back with a victory. But looking at his 3 stakes victories, he did have a lot of advantages and things go his way in each of those races. The Grade 2 Remsen last December, that was in the mud and it was a speed favoring track, and Dornoch was all over the pace, battling on the pace. Sierra Leone rallied from far back and he took a short lead, but then Dornoch was able to come back and win that one. So he had the track profile in his favor there, and Sierra Leone made some mistakes in the stretch that cost him the win there. And then in the Fountain of Youth Stakes, originally I think it was supposed to be 9 horses, but 4 horses scratched. Dornoch became the overwhelming favorite, and he just was able to get out there and control the pace and win that race. So he had a lot of breaks there with all of the scratches. And then that short field, he was able to dominate and win that race by 1 3/4 lengths. Probably should have won that race easier based on that competition, but he did what he had to do there. Then the Bluegrass Stakes. He tracked the pace. He weakened to finish 4th. Sierra Leone was able to win that race. And then in the Kentucky Derby, from the inside post, he didn't have a great start. Didn't get involved early like he likes to, and he was 10th, beaten 18 lengths. Then the Belmont Stakes. Again, he caught a speed-favoring track there. And he was able to get up on the pace, and he was able to win that race by a half length. But Mindframe, he was erratic in the stretch, and he got the lead, and then he lost the lead to Dornoch because of that erratic stretch run. So Dornoch got a big break there. Number one, the track profile and the race flow was definitely in his favor. And then Mindframe made those mistakes in the stretch. And then your favorite there, Sierra Leone, he tried to rally from off the pace, but he did not get the right race flow there. The track profile was against him. He was trying to close wide, and he was the clear 3rd. So Dornoch probably ran the 3rd best race in the Belmont Stakes, but he was able to take advantage of the situation and win. Now he has the inside post here. Luis Saez, his regular rider. Expect him to be all over the pace, but I don't want to take him at a short price. I just don't trust him. He's had a lot of breaks go his way. That's not going to keep happening. But I will admit that he is a fighter. He was able to battle back and win the Belmont, battle back and win the Remsen Stakes. Jasper's Pride is number 2, and he's 30-1, and he's 2 for 6 lifetime. Probably overmatched in here. He's a New Jersey bred. He's only run in sprint races. He was in the slop last time out against Optional Claiming State Bred Company. All of his races were against New Jersey breds, and he was 3rd, beaten the neck last time out. Just not fast enough. Probably try to get involved from off the pace. He's outclassed here. Number 3, Tuscan Sky. He's 9-2 morning line, and this one's for Todd Pletcher. And Todd Pletcher has multiple runners in this race, and Tuscan Sky is 3 for 4 lifetime. Won his first 2 career starts at 6 furlongs in the mud, 1 mile and 1/16 in the slop. And then in his next start, the Wood Memorial, I liked him that day, but he didn't run his race. He was never really getting involved. He was 9th early, and then he finished 7th, beaten 12 lengths in that 12-horse field. He added blinkers last time out in the Pegasus Stakes at Monmouth, the local prep for the Haskell, and in that race from the inside post, he was all over the pace. He dueled, he opened up, and he won by more than 6 lengths. An excellent effort there. Clear runner-up, domestic product, cut back in distance in the 1 mile Dwyer, and he dominated that race in his next start. So Tuscan Sky defeated a next out stakes winner last time. He has a route victory over the track, and he should be forwardly placed under Javier Castellano, who got to know him in that Pegasus Stakes. Number 4, Timberlake is an interesting entrant in this race. He hasn't run since March 30th in the Arkansas Derby. He was one that had class as a 2-year-old. The Grade 1 Hopeful at Saratoga, he finished second. The Grade 1 Champagne, and that was at Aqueduct, and he won that race by more than 4 lengths in the slop. The Breeders' Cup Juvenile, Fierceness won that one. Muth was second, Locked was third, and Timberlake finished fourth there at 3-1 odds. His first start this year as a 3-year-old was in the Grade 2 Rebel Stakes, and in that race he stalked the pace and he won nicely by 2 lengths. He was the heavy favorite there. And then the Arkansas Derby at 1 mile and an eighth in his last start. He stalked the pace, he moved early to the lead, and then he weakened in the stretch. He finished fourth, beaten more than 6 lengths. Muth won that one, Just Steel was second, Wise Dan finished third, then Wise Dan would come out of that race and win the Kentucky Derby. And then Timberlake didn't run again. He was the beaten favorite in the Arkansas Derby. So now Brad Cox puts him in an ambitious spot in his first start since March. Flavien Prat will ride back, and he got to know him in that Arkansas Derby. He figures to stalk the pace. The main thing with him, just not sure about the distance if he really wants to go this 1 mile and an eighth distance. Fierceness, he's 5-2 morning line for trainer Todd Pletcher. 6 starts with 3 wins and a 3rd place finish. Now I read on Daily Racing Form that Fierceness is only going to run in here if Mindframe scratches. So he's only in here as insurance in case Mindframe doesn't run. So it looks like if Mindframe goes, Fierceness will scratch, and they will reroute him to the Jim Dandy Stakes next week. But if he does run here, he obviously has ability. He just doesn't always run a big race. In his maiden debut, he romped by 11. Then he disappointed, finished 7th by 20 in the Grade 1 Champagne. Bounced back with a big win in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. He was your 2-year-old champion. Then in the Holy Bull Stakes is the heavy favorite. He finished a disappointing 3rd. He ran away with the Florida Derby, earning a nice speed rating and dominating that race throughout. Then in the Kentucky Derby, he was a pace casualty, finished 15th in a 20-horse field. So you never quite know what you're going to get from him, but he's one that should impact the pace. He's training well, but like I said, most likely he's going to run in the Jim Dandy Stakes. Just Step On It is next, and he has 9 starts, 3 wins, 2 runner-up finishes. He just looks outclassed in here. He was a maiden claimer early in his career at Del Mar last year. And then after that, he was claimed out of a maiden claiming race, and then he won a New York-bred maiden race at Aqueduct in January, and then he won an optional claiming race at Parks at 1 mile and 70 yards. And then last time at Parks, he won an optional claiming race going wire to wire at 1 mile. He's one that can be forwardly placed, but his only stake start at Parks in the slop last March, he was 4th, beaten 9 lengths in a 6-horse field. And that was a $75,000 stakes race. So this Grade 1 looks too tough for him. But he's one, like I said, could impact the pace. Florent Giroux is listed to ride. Mindframe, your 9-5 morning line favorite. I read Ortiz Jr. and Todd Pletcher. Constitution's the sire here, and he was outstanding in his first 2 starts. They paid $600,000 for this one, and he, right off the bat, showed a ton of ability. At 7 furlongs, he stalked and he ran away by 13 lengths. In that 7 furlong debut at Gulfstream on March 30th. On May 4th at Churchill Downs, he was able to romp and control the pace. Not much pace going on there, and he ran away and won by more than 7 in his second career start. They threw him into a tough spot in the Grade 1 Belmont in his last start at 1.25 miles. So he went from 7 furlongs to 1 mile and a 16th, jumping into stakes ranks in his 3rd start at 1.25 miles against Grade 1 company. And I mentioned that race already. Dornoch was able to get out there over that speed-favoring track, and he had all the advantages. Mindframe from post 10 was stalking the pace, but he was erratic in the stretch, and he made mistakes, and he finished 2nd, beaten a half length. So now that he has that stakes experience under his belt, cutting back from 1.25 miles to 1 mile and an eighth, good tactical speed, good post position, bullet workout for this on July 5th. Definitely the one to beat. He has a ton of upside still. C Streak, number 8 at 20-1 morning line. 8 starts, 2 wins, 3 seconds, and a 3rd. He's a New Jersey bred, but he's faced open company in all of his races. He's run in some stakes races like the Mucho Macho Man Stakes earlier this year. He was a close third there. He ran in the Holy Bull Stakes. He was 7th that day. And then after that, an optional claiming race, he was 2nd, beaten 9 lengths that day. Knightsbridge was able to win that race nicely. And then in the Long Branch Stakes at Monmouth, he bounced back with a victory by 7 lengths. He stalked and he pulled away. He was the favorite in the Pegasus Stakes, but he was 5th, beaten 12 lengths. He broke a bit slow. He was battling on the pace wide. 5th, beaten 12 lengths in a 6-horse field. Tuscan Sky, Domestic Product, Hades were 1, 2, 3 there. So for C Streak, can't see how he's not going to be stalking wide again. I just don't think he's good enough to beat a field like this with a wide stalking trip. So he's going to definitely lose ground, and he would have to be much the best from this post to win this race, and I just don't see that happening. So overall, obviously Dornoch from the inside post is going to try to go wire to wire, get out of that gate, and he's hoping for an inside speed favoring track. If he can get a speed favoring track like he did in the Remsen, like he did in the Belmont Stakes, and then be able to control the pace like he did in the Fountain of Youth, obviously he's going to be a contender all the way around the track. He has run at Monmouth once. That was the Sapling Stakes, and he was 2nd last year in his 2nd career start when he was still a maiden at that point. So he's the one, probably the catch from the inside, but I mentioned I think he has some vulnerability, the son of good magic, and I don't want to pick him on top. Tuscan Sky, big win last time over the track. If he can run that kind of race again, he could finish somewhere in the top 3. Timberlake, I'm concerned about the mile and an 1/8 distance, but a good trainer like Brad Cox putting him in a tough spot, first start after the layoff, does give some confidence. Flavien Prat really riding well lately. Good stalking trips likely, just don't know about the distance. As I said, with Fierceness, capable of winning this, but he's probably only in here for insurance in case Mindframe scratches. So if not, look for him in the Jim Dandy. Could not go against Mindframe in this race. I think it's his race to lose. He has the most upside. I expect him to turn the tables on Dornoch in here. He's only run 3 times, and those mistakes cost him a victory in the Belmont Stakes. If he would have run a straight line in the stretch, more than likely he would have won that race. Cutting back in distance certainly doesn't hurt his cause at all. Good tactical speed. He can just watch the pace unfold, sit a nice tactical trip out in the clear, and then if he can run a straight line in the stretch, I expect him to just win by probably more than a couple lengths in here at least. If he runs a big race and puts it all together, he's earned some decent speed ratings in his races. And I think his best races are in front of him. And I think Mindframe is the horse to beat in this race. So I would make a win wager on him if the odds hold up at all, because I'm not a huge fan of Dornoch. I think maybe he's a bit vulnerable in here. The time to play Dornoch was at 17-1 last time. Definitely that was the time to play him, not as the second choice or battling for favoritism in this race. So Mindframe, my top choice. I can see Dornoch hitting the board, Tuscan Gold hitting the board, maybe Timberlake, maybe throw those horses in a trifecta. I'm going to single a horse like Mindframe. I'm definitely going to single him in the pick 4, pick 5, etc. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment if you like this horse racing content. Keep checking my YouTube channel. I do YouTube shorts for stakes races at Saratoga. I do these long form videos as well. I'm going to have a lot of stuff from Saratoga and Del Mar this summer and all the big stakes races from around the country. So keep checking all that out. My Del Mar full cards at therunawayhorse.com. And then also my Better Bets blog, daily free pick from around the country at my personal website, therunawayhorse.com as well. And until I see you next time, good luck at the races.